In the year 2432, Earth had become a hub of interstellar diplomacy and trade, its sprawling cities home to more alien species than ever before. Yet amid this cosmic melting pot, Dr. Eli Turner, a renowned human geneticist, felt something was amiss. He walked through the bustling streets of New Terra, his mind preoccupied with the upcoming conference on advanced reproductive technologies. As he passed a quaint cafe, a flicker of movement in the corner of his eye caught his attention. He turned, expecting another pedestrian, but instead found himself gazing into the two luminous, violet eyes of an alien woman. Her features were delicate and distinctly non-human, with skin that shimmered like the surface of a starlit ocean. "Dr. Turner, I presume?" Her voice was melodic, yet carried an undertone of desperation. Eli, taken aback by her knowledge of his name, nodded. "Yes, I'm Eli Turner. How can I help you?" "I am Lyra," she introduced herself, her gaze unwavering. "I come from the Nebulae, a race from the edge of the Orion Arm. We are in dire need of your expertise and humanity's unique capabilities." Eli, intrigued by her directness and the mysterious aura she exuded, gestured towards the cafe. "Let's talk inside." As they settled down with their drinks, Lyra's story began to unfold. "We are facing extinction," Lyra explained somberly. "Our reproductive capabilities have diminished over generations due to a genetic affliction caused by a cosmic anomaly affecting our planet. We, the women of the Nebulae, have found that we are unable to conceive with our own kind." "That sounds grave," Eli responded, his scientific curiosity piqued. "But why come to Earth? And why seek me out specifically?" Lyra's eyes dimmed with a hint of sorrow. "In our search across galaxies, we discovered that human DNA is uniquely compatible with ours. Moreover, your work in genetic compatibility and reproductive technologies is renowned. We believe that with your help, we can devise a method to integrate human DNA with ours, thus ensuring our survival." Eli was astounded. The implications of such a request were vast, both ethically and scientifically. "This is a lot to process, Lyra. I'm honored by your trust, but such an endeavor would require extensive research, ethical approvals, and collaboration across various disciplines. We are prepared to provide all necessary resources and have already obtained permissions from our council," Lyra assured him, placing a small, intricately carved device on the table. "This contains all the genetic data you will need, along with the authorization from my people." Eli examined the device, his mind racing with the possibilities and challenges such a project would entail. "I'll need to discuss this with my team in the Earth Alliance. This isn't something I can decide on my own." "Of course," Lyra said, a glimmer of hope brightening her features. "We anticipated as much and are willing to wait for Earth's decision. Our only hope lies with you." As they parted ways, Eli couldn't shake the weight of the responsibility Lyra had placed on his shoulders. The plea of the Nebulae women was not just a call for scientific intervention, but a test of humanity's willingness to extend its hand far beyond its own world. That night, as Eli lay awake, he realized that this could be one of his most challenging and groundbreaking projects. The potential to save a race, to intertwine human destiny with that of another species, was both daunting and exhilarating. With the dawn, Eli made his decision. He would take the proposal to the Earth Alliance. It was the first step in what promised to be an extraordinary journey, one that could change the course of two species forever. Eli presented Lyra's request to the Earth Alliance's panel of scientists, diplomats, and ethicists in the high-security conference room of the New Terra Council Hall. As he outlined the Nebulae's plight and their unique proposal, the air thickened with intrigue and skepticism. "Are we really considering using human DNA to assist an alien species?" asked Dr. Maria Chen, a leading bioethicist. "The ethical implications are enormous. We're talking about deliberately altering the course of another species' evolution." Eli responded, his tone measured. "The Nebulae are facing extinction. This isn't about playing God. It's about offering aid in a way that only we can. We have the technology to make a difference." General Akio Tanaka, a military advisor, leaned forward, his brow furrowed. And what of the strategic implications? Helping them could forge a powerful alliance, but it could also make us a target. We must consider the political landscape of the galaxy. The room buzzed with murmurs until Dr. Lena Soto, head of the Interstellar Relations Committee, raised her hand for silence. Let's focus on the scientific feasibility first. Eli, is there a proposed method for this integration of DNA? Eli activated the holographic projector, displaying complex genetic sequences and simulations. Lyra provided their genetic data, which is surprisingly compatible with ours. We can use targeted gene editing to enhance their reproductive capabilities without compromising their genetic identity. The team debated long into the night, weighing every potential consequence. Finally, they agreed to proceed with preliminary research under strict confidentiality, with ongoing reviews at each stage. An unexpected arrival weeks into the research, Eli's lab was a hive of activity, with his team working tirelessly on gene compatibility tests. One evening, as Eli reviewed the latest data, Lyra reappeared, her expression more somber than before. "Eli, there's been a development," she said without preamble. "A faction within the nebulae opposes this project. They believe it's unnatural and fear it will dilute our heritage." Eli paused, considering the implications. "Is this faction likely to interfere with our work?" "Possibly," Lyra admitted. "They are influential, and their leader, Varric, is a skilled orator. He's already swaying public opinion." "We must tread carefully," Eli mused. "This project can only succeed if your people are united in wanting it." Lab breakthrough. Despite the political undercurrents, the lab team made a significant breakthrough. They developed a synthetic vector that could safely introduce human DNA into nebulae cells. Excitement buzzed through the lab as the first successful tests were confirmed. "Look at this," exclaimed Dr. Nora Kim, pointing to the glowing cells under the microscope. "The integration is stable and the cells are dividing normally. It's more than we hoped for." Eli watched, a mix of pride and concern etched on his face. "It's a major step, but we're not just scientists in a lab anymore. We're part of a bigger narrative." As they prepared for the next phase, involving more complex genetic constructs, Eli knew that the road ahead would be fraught with more than just scientific challenges. The heart of an entire race, divided by tradition and fear, hung in the balance, and it was up to them to navigate these turbulent waters with as much care as they applied to their science. At a hastily convened meeting in the Nebulae Council chambers, Eli watched from the sidelines as Varric, the leader of the opposition, addressed the assembly. His voice resonated through the ornate hall, his words sharp and persuasive. "Introducing alien elements into our lineage is a betrayal of our ancestors and our future," Varric proclaimed, his eyes blazing with conviction. "We must not sacrifice our identity for the sake of survival." Lyra stood up to speak, her demeanor calm yet assertive. "Survival is the most basic of rights. If we do not adapt, we will perish. This project offers a beacon of hope, not just for survival, but for a resurgence." The council was split, the air thick with tension. Eli felt the weight of each argument, understanding the fears and hopes intertwined in the debate. A secret pact. After the meeting, Eli and Lyra met in secret with a small group of nebulae scientists and diplomats who supported the project. They formed a pact to continue the work covertly, ensuring that the experiments could progress without interference from Varric's faction. "We'll need to accelerate our timetable," Eli suggested. "If we can present undeniable success, it might sway the council and the public." The team agreed, setting up a clandestine laboratory in a remote part of the Nebulae homeworld. Security was paramount. Only those directly involved knew of the location and nature of the work, a breakthrough amidst adversity. In the concealed lab, Eli's team worked with a feverish intensity, driven by the urgency of their mission. Within months, they achieved what had once seemed nearly impossible. They successfully created a hybrid embryo, viable and healthy in its early stages. Lyra gazed at the imagery of the developing life form, her face a mixture of awe and apprehension. "We've done it, Eli. This is the proof we needed. But we must proceed carefully," Eli cautioned. Varric and his followers will see this as a threat. We need to be ready for their reaction. Confrontation and resolve. The news of the breakthrough leaked faster than they had anticipated. Varric wasted no time rallying his followers, and soon, protests erupted across the nebulae capital. The dissenters called for an immediate halt to the project, labeling those involved as traitors. Facing rising unrest, the pro-project faction decided it was time to act. They organized a public demonstration of their own, presenting the scientific facts and showcasing the potential for a new future for the nebulae race. Eli stood beside Lyra as she addressed the gathered crowd, her voice clear and compelling. We stand before you not as usurpers of tradition, but as pioneers of hope. Let us embrace this new dawn together, as one people. As the debate reached its zenith, the council convened once more to decide the fate of the project. With the future of an entire race hanging in the balance, Eli and Lyra awaited the verdict, hopeful that reason and vision would prevail over fear and tradition. The Nebulae Council Hall was silent as the final votes were cast. The tension was palpable, a living thing that filled the vast space with anticipation and dread. Eli watched, his heart pounding, as the counselors placed their votes into the ancient system, their faces inscrutable. Lyra stood beside him, her hand clenched at her side, her eyes never leaving the front where the council leader stood. After what seemed like an eternity, the leader stepped forward, the results tablet in his hand. The decision is made, he announced. His voice echoed off the stone walls. By a majority vote, the integration project will proceed. A mixed chorus of cheers and murmurs swept through the hall. Varric's face darkened, and his supporters whispered furiously among themselves. But the decision was final. Sabotage and science. Despite the council's approval, the opposition was not silenced. Varric's faction attempted to sabotage the project, launching cyber attacks on the lab's databanks and spreading misinformation to sow distrust among the population. Eli's team fortified their defenses, both digital and physical, and continued their work with renewed urgency. They managed to safeguard the developing embryos and pushed forward with their research, determined to reach a stage where the results could speak for themselves. The first success months later, the team witnessed a breakthrough that would change everything. The first nebula-human hybrid was born, a healthy female they named Alara. She was a symbol of potential, a beacon of what could be achieved. Eli and Lyra presented Alara to the council and the public, broadcasting the event across the planet. The sight of the thriving child had a profound effect on the populace. Doubt began to give way to hope, and even some of Varric's staunchest supporters found themselves questioning their resistance. Varric's last stand. Varric, seeing his influence waning, made a desperate move. He organized a large-scale protest to storm the facility where Alara and other hybrids were being cared for. As the mob approached, Eli, Lyra, and their team prepared to defend their work. The confrontation was intense. Words were exchanged, and for a moment, it seemed that violence was inevitable. However, as the crowd came face to face with Alara and the other children, their anger faltered. The innocence and promise seen in the children's eyes were powerful, more convincing than any speech. A new understanding. In the aftermath, many of Varric's followers disbanded, their convictions shaken by the reality before them. Varric himself was arrested for inciting violence, and a peace of sorts settled over the Nebulae capital. The success of the project opened new dialogues about the future and identity of the Nebulae people. With Alara and the other hybrids thriving, the project received broader support, heralding a new era of cooperation and coexistence between the Nebulae and humanity. As the Nebulae began to embrace this new chapter in their history, Eli and Lyra continued to work, committed to fostering a world where science and compassion could lead to salvation and unity. The integration project, now widely known as the Unity Initiative, expanded beyond the confines of the laboratory. Schools, public forums, and cultural exchanges sprang up around the Nebulae homeworld, educating the populace about the benefits and implications of their new genetic heritage. Eli divided his time between Earth and the nebulae planet, overseeing the scientific aspects of the initiative, while also engaging in public discussions to foster understanding and acceptance. His role as an intermediary was crucial in maintaining the delicate balance between the two worlds. The Galactic Council's interest news of the successful hybridization project reached beyond the nebulae territories, capturing the interest of the Galactic Council, a conglomerate of advanced civilizations monitoring developmental species. They invited Eli and Lyra to present their findings, seeing the potential for similar solutions in other endangered species across the galaxy. At the Galactic Council meeting, held in the neutral zone of the Andromeda Station, Eli presented their work, emphasizing the ethical frameworks and protective measures put in place. The presentation was met with applause and curiosity, as many representatives saw it as a revolutionary approach to interspecies assistance, cultural renaissance. Back on the nebulae homeworld, the successful integration led to a renaissance of sorts in arts and culture. Artists, once fearful of the loss of traditional values, began exploring new themes, blending human and nebulae aesthetics. Music, literature, and visual arts flourished, celebrating both the preservation and evolution of nebulae culture. Lyra, who had become a symbol of progressive leadership, facilitated cultural exchange programs, inviting human artists, scholars, and citizens to her planet. These exchanges enriched both communities, leading to a deeper, more profound understanding of each other's worlds. Technological synergy. The collaboration also spurred technological advancements. Joint research teams from Earth and the nebulae planet worked on developing new technologies that harnessed the unique properties of nebulae biology, combined with human ingenuity. These included advancements in medicine, environmental science, and space travel, which benefited both species. One significant achievement was the development of a hybrid energy system that utilized the nebulae's natural bioluminescence combined with human solar technology. This system provided clean, efficient energy solutions for remote areas on both Earth and the nebulae planet. The future beckons. As the years passed, the Unity Initiative proved to be a beacon of hope, not just for the nebulae, but for other species facing similar crises. Eli and Lyra's work became a model for ethical genetic intervention, studied and replicated with care and consideration. The two races, once strangers governed by fear and misunderstanding, now looked toward a future where their shared knowledge and strengths could lead to prosperity and survival against the odds. The success of their union was a testament to the power of collaboration and the endless possibilities that awaited them in the expanding universe. As the decades unfolded, the Unity Initiative matured into a symbol of interstellar cooperation, with Earth and the nebulae world standing at the forefront of a new coalition of planets dedicated to the preservation and enhancement of life across the galaxy. The inauguration of the Interspecies Institute. The culmination of years of shared efforts was the inauguration of the Interspecies Institute, a sprawling research and cultural facility located on the border between human and nebulae space. The institute was designed as a beacon of joint discovery, dedicated to fostering innovation in science, culture, and diplomacy. Eli and Lyra, now seasoned veterans in their respective fields, attended the grand opening, their pride evident as they addressed a crowd that included many of the galaxy's most distinguished figures. The institute was not just a testament to their work, but a promise to future generations of the enduring power of unity and understanding. The Varric Redemption. During this period, Varric, who had been rehabilitated after years of incarceration, emerged as an unexpected advocate for interspecies cooperation. His transformation from a fervent opponent to a proponent of unity was one of the most poignant chapters of the nebulae's history. He spent his later years teaching the importance of adaptability and the strength found in diversity, using his past as a powerful lesson in change and redemption. Advancements and outreach. The technological and cultural advancements that stemmed from human nebulae cooperation continued to reshape lives. Medical technologies developed at the Institute cured diseases that had plagued both species for centuries. Environmental restoration projects, powered by hybrid technologies, revitalized dying ecosystems on multiple planets. Moreover, the success of the initiative inspired other endangered species to seek assistance. leading to a galaxy-wide movement of ecological and genetic restoration projects under the guidance of the Interspecies Institute. A united vision. As an elder statesman, Eli reflected on the profound journey from those initial uncertain steps to the vibrant partnership that now flourished. He penned several works on his experiences, emphasizing the lessons learned about fear, courage, and the potential for reconciliation and growth. Lyra, for her part, continued to lead her people with a focus on sustainability and openness, ensuring that the nebula's heritage was preserved even as it evolved. Her leadership was crucial in maintaining the balance between honoring tradition and embracing innovation. Conclusion of an era. In the twilight of their years, Eli and Lyra stood together once more at the Interspecies Institute, looking out over a gathering that included humans, nebulae, and members of other races. They shared a quiet moment, appreciating the peaceful, vibrant community that had grown from their efforts. "Our work may be done," Eli said, his voice tinged with emotion, "but the story will continue." "Yes," Lyra agreed, her eyes bright with unshed tears. "We've sown the seeds. Now it's up to them to keep the garden flourishing." As the stars shone brightly above, the legacy of their work stood as a beacon to all, proof that even the most daunting challenges could be overcome through understanding, cooperation, and a shared commitment to a better future.